A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kabira for usual political conversations that I do hope will build this country as we're progressing with this Ruto's administration. Big talk in the country is on police brutality and maandamano. President William Ruto says just the way they prayed and God stopped Chege, they will stop this protest. I'm here with Herman Manyora. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good conversation we are having because we need to talk so that we fix things in the country. Ruto, first of all, says, look, are you in the right headspace if you throw stones at police officers? Of course, this conversation of police brutality says over 300 police officers have been injured, and we cannot talk about police officers protecting property and protecting other lives of Kenyans. They are doing their job well, of course, maintaining that they did a good job. First of all, from where you sit, should we have accountability for the lives that were lost?
Life is life. And we cannot talk about life casually. The conversation should be around what can we do to make sure that we don't lose even one life in future from today going forward. That's the conversation.
From today going forward, can we look at those lives that were lost?
Those ones is very unfortunate.
Accountability.
Is very unfortunate. And the discussion around that serves to show that we don't value human life. Because we are passing blame. And people have lost their loved ones. Somebody's son is in the soil or is in the mortuary. And you are just throwing blame left, right. And nobody's even focusing on those who have died. So this blame game is not good. And in terms of the police, I've tried to tell these people. I was giving an example on TV today. I was saying, at the university, I've seen 20, 30 students with whistles. Yeah, they have an issue with the university or the government. 30 or 20. And then somebody in panic calls the police. The moment they see the police lorry, they become 1,000 students. These are young people, blood is running fast, they're excited. They become how many?
1,000 from 30.
And the moment the police throw one tear gas canister, the entire university student fraternity is out. So what am I trying to say? Even these demonstrations, if you just left these people to go and demonstrate, nothing will happen. Raila took a matatu and went to town. There were crowds. Did anything happen? Was there anything?
If the president is serious, though, because you're saying, look,
the president is right, he's serious, he's a good man. But we must also tell the president the truth, because people are not telling the truth. Why do we have that situation? The situation arises because the police do not go there to do what they are supposed to do. They go to stop maandamano. They go to stop it. If you go to break peaceful demonstrations, those things will happen. People will die.
The reason why I'm asking about accountability is because what happened in
It's
Parliament.
as simple as that.
So what happened in Parliament, the sitting had to be adjourned because
parliamentarians are shouting. What are people even talking about?
No more bloodshed.
What are people really talking about? What are our leaders talking about? Do they know the meaning of human life? What are they debating about?
It's because of accountability, don't you think?
What are they debating? What is it?
Police brutality, first of all.
Which police brutality and what are they debating? This is a simple matter. And I will tell you this. When matters are simple and you treat them as if they are not simple, you'll get into the sort of problems we are in. It is just as simple as demonstrators being allowed to do their thing.
You know, you were talking from a future.
Now, you see, demonstrators being allowed to do their thing. We can watch and see what happens because we have not allowed it to happen. By looking at Article 37, we should also agree that Kindiki, not even Ruto, has the power to grant or to deny maandamano. They don't have that power, and people died for that article to be in the constitution. It didn't just arrive there. People died. People struggled to have this new law. So if you respect this law, let people demonstrate. When they say they are coming to CBD, ask them, what are your routes? How do you want to go? We said, no, we cannot allow you to pass this way because this way there's so much in terms of business and congestion in town. You go Kenyatta Avenue. It's clear. Then you hit Moi Avenue, then you go down, bomb blast that roundabout, railway roundabout, go to Haile Selassie, end up with Uhuru Park, do your thing, then go home.
I'm asking because you're speaking about a futuristic way. Let's look at how we can fix things. But we have to look at those people that died. When you look at the meaning of police brutality, excessive or unnecessary force used by law enforcement officers during an arrest or other interactions with civilian. Do you shoot someone throwing stones? Isn't that police brutality in its simplest form?
I am saying, let's not throw blame. If we start blaming, if we start blaming and looking for what you are calling out accountability, I don't think it's a healthy debate, because there's no debate about what happened. First of all, what the government has done is wrong.
That's where I wanted us.
They are going to break a demonstration instead of providing the security as the demonstrators do their thing. So that is, there's no debate about that. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no debate about police action that leads to people's death. There's no debate. So what is the debate about? I'm asking, what is the debate about?
Yeah.
The debate about people who are killed?
The debate is...
The debate about people who are supposed to be policemen in plain clothes. You cannot go to a demonstration unless you are in police uniform. That's not for debate.
Okay.
It's not. We cannot debate here that people were killed. All these organizations and hospitals and doctors, the evidence they are giving, these people are dying from bullets. I mean,
it's more than enough.
And if the police think Uhuru's son or Manyora's son, because we are too old to do it, or Jad here used his gun, why can't they arrest the person? Say, we have one person here, anaitwa Jomo Kenyatta. Bunduki ile tulimpa ndio hii. Na risasi ilitoka hapa ndio imeua au kijana. Weka yeye ndani. Hata koti kichukua 1 week before they jail that person, we shall go to that court and burn it.
So basically you're saying the conversation should be bigger.
Yes.
Bigger than a conversation of accountability. It's a question
you see, I do not want Kenyans to dwell on issues of whether the police have used brutality or whether... No, we don't debate that. We have just to use common sense and know that was wrong. You can find a way of atoning for it. Government can compensate the people who have died. We can waive mortuary fees, hospital fees. We can join the bereaved families and mourn with them and tell them these things come with the territory, with struggles. We understand, we are together with you, we pray with you. If there's compensation, it is... But it's not subject for debate. You cannot debate somebody killing another one. What is the debate about?
Now, when you look at the president saying, we prayed and reggae came to a halt, and we're now looking at how we'll stop this protest. Raila says the invitation by the president to have a talk, he says it was not serious, says he knows my address, he knows where I live, he has my telephone, he can reach out to me. Why is the president going through all these corners to have this simple
You know, politicians are not sincere people. The agenda the politicians pursue is rarely in the interest of the public. So that's where they have problems. But if people were just to be honest, both Raila and Ruto, all of us in this country, and we just tell ourselves, this is our country. Why are we killing our children? Why are we destroying businesses which people have built over the years? You know, maybe there's somebody who saved all his life and he has just opened a business and then you put it in flames. You are actually putting his life in flames. You see, why do you want to traumatize children during demonstrations? Why are we doing things that can destroy this country? Is there something we can do? And the answer is simple. The issues over which we are wasting a lot of time and killing each other are very simple issues. They can be resolved.
You know, the question from most people, especially aligned to Kenya Kwanza, is before the handshake, all these issues were there in 2018. If they have this talk again, are we going to that place again where if Raila has this conversation with Ruto, we still go back to the high cost of living, we still go back to electoral issues, and then we look for a reason why Ruto should actually meet Raila? Isn't that only for Raila?
No, see, we've been debating this thing and there are people who are arguing. So they meet, they talk about what? And I find that to be extremely, not just cheap, but callous. If the meeting will put an end to the recklessness that we are engaged in, which recklessness is causing a loss of lives loss of property, destruction of property, and inching us closer to anarchy. If the talks can create ceasefire, we put this to a stop. Isn't it worth it?
Is it really worth it?
Is it not worth it? Listen.
Okay.
Because the immediate, whenever you go into talk, there are immediate, midterm, and long term. For the immediate, we want to stop this nonsense. Put it behind us. Without saying Raila is the one who should just say no man, the man. Because the underlying issues, and there are very obvious issues that are on table, that are behind these riots. So let's meet and put an end to the demonstrations. We shall have saved ourselves a lot of trouble, like people dying. Is that right?
Right.
And the images floating on media houses across the world.
Yeah.
Then once we have the ceasefire, we then ask ourselves, what are the issues that have brought all this? Then we divide them into two, just like the surrender talks. There are those that are very obvious, and there are those that are long-term. At surrender, they were under Agenda 4. We have never dealt. Once people go into power, they forgot everything. So, one, stop the riots, stop the violence, ceasefire, address issues that are very clear. Cost of living, prices of essential commodities like hunger, electricity, fuel, deal with that immediately. Then deal with the political question again, which you divide it into two. One, immediate is IEBC. Audit of the server, not necessarily to remove Ruto from power, but just to see where we are going. And then the long term. This country requires a serious conversation and to ask itself, how come after every 5 years we engage in this stupidity?
You know, this is one of the
dangerous stupidity.
One of the few things you said in your first video in this YouTube channel about Raila and Ruto talking.
It was the first video, actually.
The first video, actually. And then they did. And then we had BBI, which Ruto was strongly opposed to. So if they talk and they have a call to ceasefire, we go back to that BBI moment. Of course, Ruto does not agree with the building initiative.
But everybody wants to implement what was in the BBI. Ruto has already implemented part of it. There are people going to parliament and constitutional ministers. That's what BBI was talking about. There's the creation, expansion of the executive to restructure it, to accommodate the realities on the ground. And they already have Mudavadi occupying an office illegally, an office which BBI wanted to create through a constitutional amendment. They are already talking about the counties in the manner. So everybody agrees that BBI was the right thing. But for political expediency, it was demonized because it was going to determine the elections of 2022.
So if they have these talks, we'll still go back there, but
there
not
is going
in
to
the
be
same route.
I want to repeat for your sake and the sake of the audience. The talks are important so that we have immediate cessation of hostilities, to use the international lingua, so that they cease fire, so that there are no more riots, so that people don't destroy property, so that people don't die, so that the police are not accused of brutality. We stop there. Then we look at the issues, and we divide them into political and economic. There are some economic issues like the cost of unga, the cost of mafuta, the cost of... We can deal with them immediately. And I've explained many times how we can bring that down. Other things we can't do because of the international situation, global situation. They will be long term. We go to the political side and divide into two. Those that must be dealt with now, including the IEBC, and maybe the server issue just for audit purposes. And the long-term political solution, which will address the political question in this country. And the question is, how have we allowed politics, bad politics, to deny us the comfort of being a developed country so that Kenyans can live high quality of life because our politics is right? Where is our politics wrong? And how can we play our politics right? That is a long-term question, and it will be discussed in a national conversation. You get it? Where we shall come up with a national charter that will address that question, which the current constitution did not address.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in into this conversation on police brutality. Comment question for you today. Do you think there should be accountability? And what is the future for this country? What solution do you have for the future of this country? I'll leave a link down below on that issue on National Charter. But until we do talk again, I hope you have yourself a lovely weekend.